From the next section of the 2nd Avenue subway to congestion pricing, some of the city's biggest transit projects are moving forward under the Biden administration. And the city's former transportation commissioner is the person who is helping to oversee and implement those plans. Washington reporter Kevin Fry recently sat down with Deputy Secretary for Transportation Polly Trottenberg to talk about the future of transportation in New York.
After 7 years as New York City Transportation Commissioner, Polly Trottenberg is now on the job in Washington as Deputy to Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
What are kind of the tangible benefits that New Yorkers might be seeing by having a New Yorker or someone with so much New York knowledge basically second in command here at DOT?
Right. Well, I want to be careful there because obviously in a national role, you don't play favorites, but look, I am a New Yorker in my heart.
And she says without question, New York is home to projects important not only to the city and state, but the nation, including the proposed $12 billion Gateway Rail Tunnel under the Hudson River, the next phase of the 2nd Avenue subway, and congestion pricing in central and lower Manhattan. Projects that made little headway under the Trump administration, but Trottenberg stresses are now seeing movement.
Under this administration, all 3 of those projects are advancing with some important recent milestones for all of them.
Just last month, the Federal Transit Administration bumped the Hudson Tunnel project up to a medium-high priority, moving it closer to getting federal funding.
When you talk about a project of national significance, that's Gateway.
In January, the feds also gave the MTA the thumbs up to start engineering work on the 2nd Avenue subway extension from East 96th Street to 125th and Lexington. And on congestion pricing, last year the Biden administration approved the start of an environmental review. A draft could be ready for public review in late spring. Asked about the future of the congestion pricing plan that she helped develop when she worked for the city, Trottenberg spoke carefully, telling me she does not want to put her thumb on the scale.
We've seen congestion pricing be very successful in European cities like London and Stockholm, and I think there's always been a lot of interest in, can we replicate those kind of good results in the American context? New York is the furthest along.
Governor Kathy Hochul recently put another high-profile New York transportation project on ice, Andrew Cuomo's controversial air train to LaGuardia. Trottenberg agrees the city needs better rail links to its airports, but says it's smart to take a fresh look.
I know the governor's put some great transportation thinkers to the task, and obviously we at the federal level will look forward to sort of the good ideas that they come up with.
In New York, one thing seems to unite all major projects: their giant price tags. Researchers at NYU, for example, pegging the next phase of the 2nd Avenue line as one of the most expensive subway extensions ever on a per-mile basis.
It seems nothing can be necessarily done very inexpensively, especially when you can compare it to European systems and so forth. Is there anything the federal government can do to kind of help limit those costs and maybe speed some of this up?
It's a great question, and another one actually our secretary has been focused on. We are certainly trying to think at the federal level, are there ways that we can help expedite, that we can help streamline, that we can be a partner in making our processes easier, but also, frankly, in pushing jurisdictions to think of ways that they can do the same.
In New York, for example, Trottenberg says that could involve streamlining the decision-making process and streamlining working with construction contractors. Advice from a Brooklynite in D.C. as New Yorkers await movement on big projects to keep them moving back home. In Washington, Kevin Fry, New York 1.